Here's something I've been ranting around for a long time, and this in the front section of the USA Today, and it says 1 in 3 elderly in the U.S. die with dementia. And it says the dementia rate and deaths and that sort of stuff has just gone up like crazy. And it's like 68%, I think, since 2000. Since the year 2000, it's gone up 68% in the deaths from dementia. Now, that tells you the doctors don't know what they're doing. Tells you the doctors do not know what they're doing. It said payments for health care, long-term care, hospice are expected to increase to $1.2 trillion by 2050 for the people 65 and older. Medicare costs for seniors with Alzheimer's or other dementias are nearly 3 times higher than those for those without these dementias. Medicaid payments are 19 times higher for people with dementias. And, of course, there's 4 different dementias, and medical doctors will always say Alzheimer's disease because they get paid more for Alzheimer's disease than they do the other 3. Contrary, I treat people nutritionally for all 4 when they're diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. We're getting so many people who are really at the terminal stages of their, quote, Alzheimer's disease, unquote, after 8, 10 years, and just within a few days, within a week or 10 days, 2 weeks, they're 100% normal just by, getting them eat a dozen eggs a day and also to get them on the 90 for Life program plus the secret sauce for dementia, which we'll get into in a minute. Okay, the stress on caregivers is estimated to result in more than $9 billion in increased health care costs for the caregivers. All right? And the number of people with Alzheimer's disease in the U.S. is expected to rise from 5.2 million, which it is today, to 13.8 million by 2050. Well, the big lie is, of course, that there's no prevention of Alzheimer's disease. The number, I think it's included in the top 6 causes of death in seniors is Alzheimer's disease. Says it's the only one of these 6 diseases that there's no prevention. Well, that's an absolute lie. I will show you, and I want you to get a hold of the book, God Bless America. The book, God Bless America. I will teach you how to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 80%. How's that? I will teach you how to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 80%. And then, by supposition, I believe we can actually bring it to, we can prevent it by 100%. Just by expanding on. I've just gotten all the more details and data, and I'm kind of sifting through it because I know what I'm looking for, or I'll find it, right? Because they're saying that there's no prevention. That's absolutely not true. I mean, we're talking about a big, expensive, double-blind, gold standard, random study where half the people were put on one program, half the people were put on another program, and the one on the test group had 78% less Alzheimer's disease than the ones who just got the standard program, right? So I know how to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 78 to 80%. It's as clear as a bell, drop dead, predictable as gravity, and it's not hard. So I want you to get a hold of the book, God Bless America. It's in there. Now, that book is designed for baby boomers. There's all these epidemics steaming your way as baby boomers, people born between 1946 and 1964. We're talking not about the swine flu and the bird flu epidemics. We're talking about Alzheimer's disease, obesity, diabetes. We're talking about, diabetes. The cost has almost doubled since 2001. Okay? The cost has almost doubled for diabetes. And I'll show you how to be an ex-diabetic in anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes it happens as quickly as 2 days. It's amazing what happens when you get off the bad stuff and you do the good stuff. So, again, I want you to get a hold of the book, God Bless America. Contact your Young Giving Associate and say, hey, I've got diabetes, and Dr. Wallach says he can help me make it better. Yep. I have a relative or a friend, or maybe even I've been diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and you say you can reduce it by as much as 80%. That's correct. Actually, more than that, I believe, but at least I have drop-dead, double-blind, gold standard, randomized studies that show 78 to 80%, right? But I believe taking and building on that information that we could get it to preventing it by 100%. So anybody who says there's no prevention for Alzheimer's disease really should go to jail for medical fraud, for insurance fraud, because they're just telling you that so they'll be able to treat you forever. Well, we don't want to treat you forever. We want you to be an ex-Alzheimer's patient. We want you to die at 120 or older with one piece of paper or 2 pieces of paper in your medical records, a birth certificate and a death certificate, right? You don't want to have a 3-inch thick medical record folder with 18 diseases in there. You're on 27 prescription drugs. You're seeing 6 specialists. Somebody needs to go to jail here. You have good insurance, and the doctors are using you for an ATM machine, or they're buzzards eating roadkill. And so you have to make sure that you know where you're going. And if you do what I tell you, at the very least, you'll be able to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 78 to 80%. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, but I've got the proof in my fat little hand here. It's beyond question. It is drop dead, predictable as gravity, and I'm excited for you. Look in the USA Today, and it'll scare you, because they're saying all these terrible things. There's no prevention, no treatment, no cure. They're the big liars. Big liars. Of course, we're not too surprised, because the medical system they've legislated themselves into a protected monopoly. They're self-policing. They can kill, rob, rape, and pillage with impunity, and nobody goes to jail. We'll be back with more truth, justice, and the young give it away on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages.